wonderful time for you to drop by. You know, they're just setting up to shoot a scene of our new star, and I'd love to introduce you before they begin. Honestly, we're all just bursting with excitement about this brilliant new performer. We think this one will not only win every award hands down, but it's just going to win the hearts of people all over the country. Come on, I want you to meet a great new star.
Hey, may as well start. But everyone's doing good today. What? I feel like this is almost tradition at this point. If I try to get through a coherent intro and immediately say something like, oh, there we go. Like, I just remembered that I was supposed to do something that I ended up not. Because I was working on a new redeem, and then at the very end of everything. Wait, why am I going through this? Like the menus and all that. But yeah, and then I realized I didn't have a good way to, or didn't have a plan to actually hook it up to anything. Oh, there's a thing up there. Nice. So I see. That's going to be a grapple hook thing. Oh, the bombs are my own. I was getting confused by that. I've been this way? Yeah, I bet. All right. I went the wrong way out of the bat. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day, and whatever else is going on with you is going good. And oh no. Huh? Hang on, I'm so confused right now. Because I thought we came from the left. Alright, where's the map? I thought we came from this room. And then went on to here, but then this loops around. I'm starting to think that what happened was, yeah, so you can get into there, and then that, I think, flushes you into that room. I think we got here once and died, and then went back through the other way and connected it to the point where I can't tell which way we actually went. But point is, we got the ability to bubble off and swim, which this is workable. This is fine. Actually, have very much improved the water combat. Oh, how? Did not know that dude had iframes. But yeah, so I had to redeem, had it mostly done, did not have time or energy to make it to do the last 5% of it that was, and then put it up and let it be redeemable. So that's hopefully going to be sometime soon. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait, why did... Huh. That is I just realized something a bit funny. That... Okay, first of all, I've forgotten how to dodge. That's always an issue. But the fact that we have wall climbing just as a thing, as like the third ability we've unlocked, period, in this game, it means that there's a lot of things like here. Before we even got to that room, we could have swam across the surface. Lilac looks so cute when just going up. Just no thoughts, head empty, ascend. But there's a lot of instances where doing... Ooh, well, I got hit once. Where there's not much reason for there to be a platform. Ooh. That was a lot closer than I thought. All right, but there's a thing up there, and I want that because it's probably health, and even at 5 per pickup, that if there's like 50 pickups or something stupid like that. Right. I forgot, I actually have to be cautious. But with 50 pickups, that's a lot of health. And more importantly, it's more health than I have right now. And probably is going to be more health than I have through this. Ah! Oh wait, it's an item. Ooh, damage dealt by 20% in water. That'll be great. Pendant worn by a tuner that lived with homunculi in the waterway. While simple in workmanship, it appears to have been a gift from the homunculi and remains in good condition. Sentiment behind it makes it invaluable. Aw. I love how so many of these item descriptions are just... You know, I don't even know what I thought was going to happen there. Like, so many of the item descriptions are just sweet. It's a bunch of people in a very impossible to awful situation. Wait, I should equip that. That's really good right now. All right. What do we got that we don't want? Only one. Really? Cooldown, chain belt, sanctuary raven, 3 per legging. All right. I want to keep the cooldown thing because anytime I can get a reduced cooldown is just good. Increase break. I'm not entirely sure what this means by break damage. Is that like when I dash through them with the dog and it breaks parts off of them, or is that when I deplete their stamina gauge and send them flying? Tends to use stats effects. I think I'm gonna remove that because there's not, just so we can get that bonus and that. Well, that would also be a nice one. I know that's the point of a good gear system, that when looking at all the gear, you want it to be something that the player would ideally say, well, I ideally want all of this on all the time. Like, it's all good, and you have to prioritize based off of your play style. Yeah, but well, that counts as a level up, so that wasn't all for nothing, just mostly. Right. Have to remember what type of... You would think, given how much I've been playing Stalker, because since we streamed that, I've been playing it not entirely on non-stop, but also not entirely not non-stop. You know, just go punch it. Oh, I got his attention and his explosion. But you would think that after playing that game, I know I'd be used to the idea of being extremely cautious 24/7. I don't know, there's something about it. I guess the mood of the day has just been full send it. Just like a little bit of caution, a little bit of not being dumb, which, by the way, it's impossible for me to see in some of these areas. Like, it's just so dark. Right. Oh, sweet. So we're in the central tower. Looks like there's something that I can flush myself to over here. Oh. That wasn't even anything. That was just... I was just there. Right, we're staying down here where the rats can't get us. Man, that's... Right, big props to this game for giving you an instance where that matters quite a lot. Come on, explode, explode. Do you only do it at a certain health? Well, I will admit, this is so much better than the Ender Lilies equivalent of these enemies, where they weren't even enemies. They're just, if you got by them, you were dead. They're obstacles. Hopefully this floor ooh, unidentified corp. Worth it. Can't even be mad about that, I don't think. Yeah, that was perfect. There wasn't even anything at the end of that. All right, let's see what we can do for upgrading Nala. Oh, it's a sword upgrade. All right. Weird. I feel like it was 2 unidentified cores before, and then it was all 1. All right. That's relic. Equip. Abilities? Something. How did that get there? I hate it when there's not a compare. That I always have to do this back and forth of which one's better. Like, trying to see how much the bars move. All right, so this is just now the highest damage. I can't compare two things that aren't right next to each other. Yeah, I hate it. Just let me see what numbers go up. No, it probably doesn't matter too much what I use because they're all fine. But it would just be nice, you know? Yeah, I think break damage might be a little higher on the Vanquisher, but everything else aside from AoE is better on the sword. All right. Bard. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm going to try Lacerate for a bit because I want to see it. The problem I have with Yolvins is that... Oh, yeah, that can work. Is that it's like a little bit of dexterity required. Like, I know I mentioned last time that whenever Yolvin... Whenever I'm trying to, like, keep Yolvin... or keep pressure up with Yolvin, that I have to use the exact same type of grip on my controller that I use when I normally play like Armored Core, just because I need the grapple there. Don't want to track back. All right. It's all. The only other place we have to go is there. It's almost like this entire area. There might not actually be a boss here. This entire area might just be nothing but... Oh, I think we can get that. But the big pole might just be that swim thing. I want to check there just to make sure that it's not like, oh yeah, and there's another way out of here. Or there's another door forward that you have missed. And then I'm actually seeing everything on the map. I actually don't mind. Well, the first thing is the massive damaging increase to Nola does help. But I can actually get behind these things. They do decent damage. For good range. Finally, a ranged character in this game that I like. That is just a bit rare. Alright, that's semi-worth it, because I want to make... Okay. That was an area that we had to flush ourselves. But yeah, I was saying with the fact that Hans here has a wall climb and we have it so early, it opens so much of this game to being... I wouldn't say stupidly open, but it lets you do a lot of question... Oh, there it is. I knew there might be another door, possibly, maybe. But it lets you do stuff like just climb up an area and say, like, I don't want to deal with that. So much easier. Improves stats. It's primary... Oh, wait, bracelet. Distinctive bracelet engraved with the name of an tuner, Chloe. Judging by the intricate craftsmanship, this is likely a gift from a loved one. Well, thank you for the bracelet. We will... Well, we might use it. So... Oh! Reduces heal potency, but HP up by 10, defense by 5. Ugh. Ow. Attack minus 15, defense. Oh, wait. Aside from HP, this is worse than just a second than the dagger brace slit. I should see what else there is, because I want to keep the heal potency up. I feel like that's really important to just have. I remember the protective... This thing... I'm going to... Okay, here's my thought with the Carapace. The protective one and being able to parry is pretty nice when it comes to boss fights. Like, I remember the last one was... That one was a little bit huge for dealing damage. But as for regular traversal, I don't care. That's the big thing. I don't actually care about landing parries and doing anything high skill outside of a boss, because I can just dodge. It's so much safer, and for regular traversal, right, just a stone bangle, which I don't want. Ooh, ward propagator. Speed up recovery. Antiquated parts. Mixed magic vial. I'll save up for that. I figure even if I don't use it, it's better to save up for high cost things. Simply because then you can not have that hang over your head, and if it does prove useful, then it's another bonus. Right. Well, that's highly annoying. We can now... I don't want to go back through the Crimson Forest, but... I suppose it helps that the Crimson Forest isn't actually a teleporter maze. That they at least have the benefit of mapping out the routes. So, what am I? Oh, right. It's just a matter of what's the biggest freaking... I mean, these warps are, but like the level transitions are a bit easier. It's just a matter of finding out which one goes to where on the map. Hey, Mecha, how's it going? We are honestly just playing this game until I fall over. That's kind of the vibe for today. It's been a day. Well, actually not a day, it's more of the week. Good to hear that you're doing good, at least. Just been kind of like tired. I zoned out hard yesterday and accidentally got, from what I can tell, extremely dehydrated. Because I'm like, all right, I want to go up, get something to drink, and solve the fact that I am very plainly and transparently in need of a drink. But I was playing Yakuza 0, and I just did not want to move, so I didn't. It's fine. I chugged down like 4 bottles today, so that's going good. All right. What's the path? I think I might have to do a full, from one edge of the map to the other. Start sprinting. There we go. That should not have connected. Oh, nice. Another relic slot. Love that for me. Oh, yeah. Very, very wet. Wait. So that was everything in the top row. Now we just have a couple known things. Can't deal with that yet. So, not entirely sure where to go for a lot of these, but I figure we got the ability. Very unique team names in sports, and now they're getting to baseball. So all my all-time's favorite coming back. Nice. I will still always be in the opinion that the Beer City Bunghammers, which if I remember right, it's just what the White Sox, or not White Sox, the Whitecaps call themselves for like one game a year for some reason. I don't even know why they're called the Bunghammers, aside from the fact that it's a brewery thing. Like it's a type of hammer that's used to pound a cork into a keg when it's all been like tasted and confirmed as that's good, that's done. All right, got that. I also realized that this area is a lot easier with just a modicum more of abilities. Which is to say, it absolutely sucks. How is underwater combat somehow far less annoying than the stuff on the platforms? Well, I suppose it's because... Now that I say that out loud, I realize that quite a lot of this area involved... Not even this area, just by nature, the 3D platformer... Or not 3D, 2D. Yeah, I'm thinking too much. I have to stop. Like, it just is a bunch of kind of not really connected platforms. Montgomery, Biscuits, Rocket... Oh yeah, Rocket City Trash Pandas. I remember those. Sugarland Space Cowboys, Richmond Flying Swirls, Rocky Mountain Vibes. Which I refuse to believe stands for anything besides being short for vibrations. Like, not like getting good vibes off of this. Just like, yeah, we're the vibrations. Although I really think that Miami, what they need a minor league basketball team that's called the Humidity. So you got the heat, but you've also got the humidity to take a look at. More materials. Mysterious underwater thingy. And more stuff. Wow. That's just... When you get the ability for that, you just got full send it down there. I want to say that the item's in there. In which case, can I... I may as well check, because that... If it's there, it's going to be the biggest pain to get back to. Don't even try to attack, just run. Very the Vibes mascot is absolutely coolest marshmallow I've seen. Yeah, I remember seeing it in like a... Wait. How the fuck do I get there? That's a warp. Huh? So you get there... Oh, right. It's you go from there, take that warp, get into there, transition over there. There's a thing there, which means it's probably either in that. You know what? I no longer care about getting this thing. With Sugar and Space Cowboys sound late. Well, when you get down to it, aren't sports teams just socially acceptable gay strip clubs? Because have you heard, I think it's like the Eagles or someone, that it's some football team. I don't care about football enough to know which one it is. Just, I just know this because it's so ridiculous for the reason why it only works for this team and no one else. But they like have a move that involves everyone on the team essentially putting their hands on the ass of whoever snaps the ball and just pushing them over the other team's defensive line. And it always works because, you know, you've got that many dudes pushing one other dude for like the last 5 feet of a touchdown. So it's virtually foolproof. And it's been theorized that the big reason it works for this one team and literally nobody else is because everyone on that team is comfortable with the idea of putting their hands on the quarterback's ass, and the quarterback is comfortable with the idea of everyone on that team putting their hands on his ass and just pushing, and nobody else has that level of trust in their teammates to make it work. Yeah, it is the bitch pigeon. The brotherly shove. Those are just good names all around. Wait, where am I going? I went the entirely wrong way. And like, if that's a... Why? Okay, so I want to get there, but that's something I've always already done. I want to get up there, so I want to be... Alright, I see. Like, yeah, if the reason the brotherly shove only works for there is because everyone else is too worried about being made fun of or how it looks, then I don't even know what point this is supposed to make, but I believe I've made it. The point is that my opinion is that sports is just straight people's way of enjoying something that is at its core extremely homoerotic, but they don't actually have the ability and comfort to admit that. So instead, they're just really weird about it. Works so well as they actually brought in a rugby Oh! That also makes a ton of sense because, yeah, of course it's like a rugby scrub. And I remember there was a period of time where my brother really was enjoying this rugby video game, and like just from watching that alone, it's like, all right, that's kind of cool. Wait, so I need the lower one? I'm so confused right now. But I like your reason better. I think it's a bit of both. I can honestly see a bit of both. A little bit of these people actually had the forethought to look at how other sports did things and try to incorporate that into their sport, which obviously that's going to work because nobody is going to see that coming. And the other reason I think also has to do with... Oh, did I just know about this room and not complete it because of this annoying thing? Or, right, I didn't have the wall jump. Oh, this would have been nice to have. Oh, damn. All right. Back to the craft. I haven't actually seen much of cricket. That one I'm like almost entirely not familiar with. Oh, wait. You want to bet there's something right there? May as well. Because evidently when I don't know where to go, we just clean out sections of the map. From what I've seen, it looks like baseball, but there's a bigger chance of somebody getting absolutely bodied or otherwise getting smacked around. Well, I see where we can go. I just don't know how to get there. Might as well poke around. It's kind of like, it's really kind of complicated, but a little understanding is fun. Yeah, that's true about most sports. I feel that it requires a little bit of knowledge of what the sport even is for you to be able to appreciate that, because I've been dragged to so many sporting events I had zero desire to be viewing. How did we not die horribly? And of all, the most constant part of all that was, this would be really cool, I think, if I had any clue whatsoever what was going on or why. And the problem with long, complicated rules is, especially when you have ADHD, is that you get told stuff and then you get told more stuff, so you forget the original things. And if you're not seeing it in action, then it's just there. Let's learn the Women's Football Association and Women's Pro Tackle Football League. Some bad. Well, yeah, you almost have to for that. Like, honestly, I've gotten a new appreciation for amateur sports somewhat recently, because it's like you don't get the mass. It's not a huge deal whenever something happens with, as it does in pros. It can just be the beef of the day is, all right, so we gotta go in through the other side. So is like absolutely nothing, or something absolutely massive, like, yeah, they're going to move the entire team one town over. Why? They get a cheaper deal on hot dogs there. My God. But between things like women's tackle football, or, oh God, that neck on that dude. Or there's a racing championship that I've learned of recently, that I am in agreement with the person who told me about it, that it's the coolest fucking thing that has ever happened, that I've ever heard of. It's essentially, hey, you got a really shitty Mazda Miata? You want to take it on the track? That is entirely what the league's about. All right. So no secret walls there. Weird. It's just these really shitty cars going really fast around a track. And of the one of the race I've shown as an introduction of, hey, this is ridiculous and you're going to love it, had like a couple, it was bumper to bumper and one of the tightest photo finishes in motorsports, period. Lando Anarchy, Detroit Dark Angels, Lemire Lit Cruz. It's that last one, the Death of the Cross. Like that. God, you could play a long game of women's football team, or we're just gonna leave. Women's football team or death metal album, because they're about the same. They sound very similar. It annoys me that that's nothing. There should be something there. Should be a hole. Loader stratum. That's respite. That's tapped out. Yeah. There's only one spot left on this map that I know has water. Ah! Missed. We may as well. Ooh. Alright, I'm thinking the vibe might be call a bit short because evidently for whatever the reason I have a sore throat is, it's not as good as I thought. So the Mazda MX-5, yes, the MX-5 Cup, that's the one. So similar to the series of cars are similar, the racing is close, driver skill wins over who has more. Yeah, that's what I was told was like a big thing for why it's so loved, that it's just whoever drives the best in this extremely questionable car, that's the winner. Ooh, music change. Final disposal site. Trash dump for the upper and central stratums. Nobody ever comes down here. Well, unless they're Levy. Nobody ever comes here. Unless you're my dumbass younger sister. Then you're down here. Yeah, it's the exact opposite. It's not... it's not going to be absolutely dominated by whatever multi-million-dollar car they've strapped Max Verstappen into. There's actually going to be some sort of skill. And isn't that like the concept behind NASCAR? Because those are stock car races, as in no massive modifications. They're off the shelf. Oh, well, that answers that question. Is there anything here besides exits? I dodged right into that. So where did that guy get a huge ball of iron? So I love the fact that this is both a spider monster, but is also cocooned. Such cool designs. Weird iron balls. But it's always a little bit annoying to me when there's the spider monsters hanging from the ceiling by a thread. Oh, you friend? We were all thrown out, but I have lots of work. I am happy. Good for you, little guy. Glad you're having a fun time of all this. Ooh, thingy. More materials. Good, good, good. Cleaning, cleaning. Please stand back. Love funky little dudes. Like, yeah, that entire dash over being... Oh. Well, full send it. Nope, gotta get in through the other side. I just feel like I should have cut their threads. So Le Maître de la Cruz is objectively the most badass name I've ever heard, bar none. Yeah, similar idea in NASCAR. Different manufacturers have different buy styles, but internal parts are all essentially made by the same company. The team can tune the parts, just not modify them. I see, I see. Oh. Damn it. Yeah, it's like, just test the skill. Oh, I thought I could dash past. It's more fun to see when... It's more fun to see just a bunch of people really good at something doing their best. And sure, there's an element of driver's skill for F1, but there's also the fact that I know that I've heard a story of of one driver got passed around from team to team over and over again because he wasn't able to win matches. Hey guys, how's it going? Oh, right. I'm like, wait, what happened to my jacket? Right, that's what happens when you do butters for this model. I've forgotten. But we're having a good day, guys. We've got lost, realized that there wasn't anything left of us at the place that we were at, and then got lost again and found various new places to flush ourselves down the drain. And we also somehow got into a conversation about NASCAR and women's football. It's great. Wait. Ow. I'm glad to have the pile driver, though. It's nice to be able to pile drive. Especially on blind drops. Yeah, like I was saying with the F1, like there's a bit of driver's skill, but there's also a lot of, like, this person was about to be dropped out of the running completely because it was thought that he couldn't win. But in reality, he got into, I think it was Red Bull, and immediately started working. Pretty nice. Some of your team keep... Perfect. So the bigger team, the more resources that bear on. Yeah, like major motorsports. Because the whole thing was that he got into a better car. Or I think it was that he got on the same team as... what's his face? As Max Verstappen. Took his old car. And then they No, I remember what it was now. I think it was Red Bull. Or one of the other top 3 or 4 teams kept on cycling through drivers for one of their car. They got one of the people who's known as best in the league, and he raced and he still couldn't get a position. Still couldn't place in that, and that's when they realized, oh, our car's just shit. That's the problem. And the major motorsports around the world, F1 Endurance may have 3 or 4 winners over the course of the season. IndyCar may have 4 or 5. NASCAR will have 12 or 14 different winners over the course because there's just that. It's all the same. It's all an even playing field. Pen belonging to a cleaner station in the following disposal site where garbage from upper and lower straps is discarded. Monkey-like tasked with cleaning duties will often find themselves assailed by constant shower of falling detritus and developed abnormalities as fact. Essentially, we've given these robots concussions. Fun. I do not like these. I don't like these enemies because it feels like there's not enough dash time to actually get through there. And I should probably, I should rejiggle my equipment again. I might have taken off the boot. Wait, I can just check. Nope, still have the boosters on. Skill issue. Right, recently had a concussion. Please stop giving the robots concussions. Well, if they don't want concussions, it sounds like a skill issue on their part. Like they can just not get hit in the head. Oh, we're down here now. Oh, yeah, there's a thing. Why does the shrimp have shields? I'm sure it's fine. Bonk. What do we got here? Letter in a bottle. Lord Motley, how long has it been since you went missing? Rumor had it that after Lord Kane's death, yours followed shortly after. Nonetheless, we reject Declan as our new lord and anxiously await word of your return. This letter to find you or someone who knows your whereabouts. Yeah, that dude's dead. Oh, hey, Whisper, thanks for lurking. Hoping you're having a good night. Ooh, sweet, 32. I have no idea if they've changed how leveling up works in this game, because I remember that How do I get over there the first up, right? Why is there so many things? God damn. I remember leveling up in Ender Lilies didn't actually do shit. It was like for every level you did 1 more point of damage and had 1 more point of health. So after finding 10... After leveling up most of your spirits once and finding like 10 health shards, you did more than you ever needed to do for the level ups, period. Like, it just did not matter. It was more there as a way to keep track of, hey, this is how much blight you've taken into your body. This is how screwed up you're getting. It's not noticeable at all. Oh yeah. And granted, that's a little bit of, by nature of Souls games, you're going to do a lot of leveling up and improvements and getting stronger, and unless you go back to an early level area, the purpose of the upgrades is to not get messed up later. Why am I fighting these guys? This week's NASCAR race to the Circuit of America is absolute banger. 4 cars fighting leads over the last 5 laps. Yeah, it sounds nice. And like, nice to see that they have a way, or that there's championships that are there for something other, or for just pure skill. Although I still hold that the Mazda Cup racing, that's just a bunch of really small cars, that and 24 hours of lemons, which is a intentionally shit endurance race. Got to go 24 hours, and if you spent more than $1,000, I think it's like $1,000 or maybe $500 on your car, it's automatic disqualification. You have to have an absolute junker of a car. Yeah, I might change the protector just so I can get my parry back. That might, wildest thing is, it might be the most useful thing here. Right, we got new craft recipes. I never looked at it. It's fine. Hit him. Well. Oh, that's kind of cool. The way you can tell when you're over the thing is there's a little cutout up there. And I was pressing the wrong button. That would do it. All right. That you need to... What? You need to be in that cutout in order to have enough space? That's hilarious. Ooh, Vivid Claws. Increase damage dealt to enemies inflicted by status effects by 50... I'll never use that. Also once belonged to a homunculus. Declan surrounded himself with the homunculi most pleasing to his eye. Said that they provide him both company and protection. Weird. Nope. Zach's thoughts why I got it. Yeah. Sounds like a really weird dude. Probably not fit for governance. Oh, thank God. God, that vista back there is just amazing. Ooh, garbage collection. I suspect a number of homunculi have been disposed of at the final disposal site. Thinking of homunculus graveyard? Is it even real? Don't the recycling homunculi dismantle and recycle everything down here? I don't appear to be functioning as intended at present, though. Ain't just a disposal site that sees a shower of trash from the upper and central stratums. Folks in the lower stratum are used to having trash rain down all the time. Ain't right way to treat both homunculi and other humans. Fortunately, this weekend's NASCAR race at Phoenix, which usually is snooze fest most of the time, tends to either NASCAR into NAPCAR. At least you get a good pun out of it. Brake damage dealt 10. Not sure what that. I'll swap this out for better stagger. Oh, I love that. It's the same thing because this is just like a homunculus dog tag. Yep. Ants. Me back in a sec. Back. Of course, tab out for a second. Alright, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? What's going on? It's fine. Hang on. I look. Oh, right! we had found more. I forgot about the craft recipe book that we had gotten. It's probably a bunch of outdated stuff, but there might be one or two things that are worth it. Huh. Yeah. Actually, never mind. That was kind of huge. HP. 10 less attack, but a lot of other stats. Definitely want that to replace the one on the left. And just getting that just because. Oh, right. Thank you for reminding me, Mecha. God. Equipment. Yeah, it's just 5 less heal potency for a whole bunch of other niceties. I'll take that. Relics, and then I got this thing speeds up. I think I'm good with what I have now, but that'll be nice to have later. And then yeah. I also just want to. Oh wait, no, that's just the end of Yolvin stuff. I just want to unlock the gallery. Oh, we can be here for a while. We got a ton of fragments. It's a random dead tuner. So small. Oh. All right, I will stand by that. I think more games need to regularize this. Like, there used to be a whole lot of, we put all the concept art and ideas and whatever into the game that you can viewable as a cool little unlock, and if you don't want to, you don't have to, and then I don't know, they just kind of stopped doing that. I don't know if it's a case of they're like, not worth the effort, or nobody cares, so we're not going to do this, or whatever. Huh. Is that dude's arm? Oh. I guess now it's time to swap Yolvin over for the drill. I'm not actually sure what to do with this. It's just a big ass orb. All right, time to completely change absolutely everything. Done. Whatever floats your goat. Swap that out for that. Swap. Yeah, I think Barrage makes the most sense. Because that's longer range, but... Huh? This annoys me so much because it's the regular beetles are already more than I can dash through, at the very least comfortably. Ah, never mind, that's 2-tap. Oh, I guess we are being hit by a giant ball of garbage. This boss is just annoying. I really don't have any notes aside from that it's annoying. It'd be one thing if we could break the orb, but I don't think that that's possible. And seems like the best thing that we can do is just cheese it. Get in this animation loop. Or just wait until that was so silly. Bug squashed. Help me. Did the garbage talk? An awful thing to say, even if it isn't entirely untrue. Don't mind. Can you help me out of here? There was a dude in it. Thank you for saving me, Miero and Tuner. What were you doing inside that ball of garbage? Magic supply system in the lower Stram's broken, which means Central Stram's inaccessible. Came down here to find a solution, but, well, you saw what happened. What did you have in mind? Trying to reach Central Stram too. I see. You be willing to help repair the magic supply system then? I've had the giant bug-like homunculus whose core is fused with the supply system. No good with bugs, so I'm surprised you made it this far. I thought I'd get over it, but just the size of that thing. I don't deserve to be a tuner. Maybe this pile of garbage is where I belong. Leave it to us. We'll take care of it. If you could. Have fun composting. Go compost yourself. All right. Now to see what we can unlock with that. Should give us Origin Gem Core? Damn. Special alloy. Obsolete and antiquated parts. Nope. Alright. I'll take that. More special alloy. And we should save that. Alright. Ah! I see what the trap was there. I know a good chunk of this game was made with the idea that you're going to see or that most people who played it have probably played Ender Lilies. So they know, broadly speaking, that, oh yeah, if I see this obstacle, then I know what sort of thing is needed to solve it. Like last time, we basically got a gas mask to traverse through the blighted water. Or like this time you see all these little things hanging in the air and it's like, ah yes, grapple points. And just have a bit more understanding about what the game is going to throw at you and what to look for. It is nice though that they are deliberately they have deliberately given some upgrades in reverse just so that when looking at things, it's like, does reset whether or not it's going to be a late game upgrade, or is this now just around the corner? Told I have at least 6 grapple points. Oh, really? Only 6. That's lower than I thought. Okay. Nope. I didn't mean to press that. Ow. That one's annoying because it's meant to... It's like a design that you dodge in a way that'll just hit you with more. Or more up? What's up here? Oh. I see. There's actually 3 ways out of here. Oi. Get out of that box. Ah, package a bastard. Right, this time again, but less of that. Compare the game to Interludes. I'd say a good question, but I have been kind of doing that during the entire playthrough. I think it has a lot of... Alright, first, getting this. More materials, of course. It has a lot of clear improvements over the last game. It also definitely has the fingerprint of the previous work and the previous story in it. And it's interesting to see how cyclical that was, of like things from the first game that happened again, that people evidently didn't learn the lessons, or so far in the future that they don't know there was lessons to be learned. It's good. I like it. It's also nice. I think the biggest quality of life, aside from, I'd say that a lot of what they did was add complexity, which happens. Like, you don't, largely speaking, don't get to make a sequel unless you have new stuff that you want to add on to there. No, I'm just not going to engage with that guy. I don't have to. I can leave. Seems annoying. I mean, he's not guarding treasure. Like, what's the point of a mimic that doesn't have treasure or plot critical item in it? May as well just not have a mimic. That's always been one of my favorite things of mimics in games that are actually just bonus bosses and not pure traps. Like, yeah, if you beat this mimic, you get something that's better in a treasure chest. So if you're ready and waiting for it, then it's just a net good thing to get jumped. Oh, I suppose that's true of everything. Like, if you're strong enough to handle it, then even like getting mugged potentially means that you get whatever the mugger's carrying. Well, really, if you have the will for it, everything can be a loot drop. And what the heck? I think it's up, right? Yeah, it's made by Binary Haze Interactive, made by the same people. Aha! A hole. Oh, come on! Oh, really? In this case, they just took pretty much almost every returning mechanic from the previous game and just focused on making them better. Like, previous game spirits had, some of them had limited charges, so like I could only use this move, I don't know, let's say 6 times before I had to go back to a respite, and most of the time wasn't that big of an issue, simply because there was a lot of respites, and after a certain point you kind of used all of your resources and it was fine to return. Oh, come on. Didn't hit any of them. Dang it. But they've really added more. I'm not sure if there's more game, but they've added some more things that, well, even things like being able to break down heavy walls through hopping on the dog during a dash. That one, oh wow, just get hit by absolutely everything. All right. That was a late game ability in the first one. And the stat system, that one was surprising. The fact that they actually give you stats and equipment and gear to put on, but pretty cool. It's nice to have a better control of, I can heal this much, and if I want to, I can min-max the hell out of it, so to make sure I'm always healing the maximum amount of my gauge. Yeah, that's a nice feature. A little bit of customization. And the fact that some activate on a cooldown, some are passive, some you can just hold and they work. Yeah. I guess one way to put it would be that it's very much like Dark Souls and very much lives up to that, to its inspiration, in that, broadly speaking, between Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, they don't really remove anything from, well, the only things they remove from Dark Souls 1 are things that people already did not like about the series, or didn't get used. I remember Dark Souls 1, the kindling system, which was just annoying and not really fun to use. It just came to a point where you hoarded humanity, which there's a couple places that are easy to farm it off of. You waited until you found a new bonfire, and then dumped as many as you could into it, and that's pretty much what I did for every game. There wasn't a point where I'm like, this is a precious resource, I have to hoard it, I gotta be careful. It's just, nah, you can get 5 more in like 10 minutes max if you go beat up some rats in the starting area. A bit more if you, it's a bit better farming areas later, but on the whole, it's not difficult to find more if you need it. So they went away with that in the second one. You got, instead, Estus was obsolete core. Estus was something that wasn't the main healing thing, as life's gems. But if you needed a big, powerful heal, you could just stand in place and wait for that to wait for it to pan out and finish casting, which nobody liked that either. So I don't know what the system is in Dark Souls 3 because I haven't played that game, because it's still expensive in most cases. Beer. Munin scared. Garm sad. Munin, Garden isn't a mutant anymore. Don't be scared. He's our friend. Whew. It's understandable for her to be wary of someone as imposing as Garm, and she must be scared of you too. I beg your pardon? What do you say, Munin? Nobody wanting to admit that Nola is scary as hell. What's the... Oh, obsolete core to unlock something that I won't use. Okay, part new model. Nothing interesting. And ooh, a thing. Silencing Light document. Silencing Light, a portable arcane instrument presently in the experimental stages, aimed to nullify the effect of fumes. Device detects when blight infestation has exceeded limits of the purification vials, and release a lethal gas before the carrier can be transformed into a blighted. It is being mandated that all residents of the lower stratum, which is at greater risk from the fumes, carry it on their person. Taking S's back to 1 as DS1. Makes sense, but I also know that the humanities system which reminds me of what I was going with that the humanities system on Dark Souls 3, it changed it from 2, where essentially if you don't have any humanity activated, then you get every additional death that you're hollowed, you get a harsher and harsher penalty to your maximum health. In Dark Souls 3, they changed it so if you're not kindled or whatever the hell they called it, you get your normal 100% health, but if you do, you get a 50% bonus. Like, there's nowhere you go from your normal state to up. Oh, guess we're in the gunk now. And just that little change of going from if you don't have this resource, which was much less farmable in 2, if you don't have this resource, then you're horribly off. If you do have it, then you're able to actually do what your stats say it will, which is annoying. Alright, I was hoping there was going to be something in there, but once again, the mimics don't have treasure. I'm starting to figure out how to dodge these things. Emphasis on starting, still not there, but it's better-ish. Oh yeah, there's another entrance. Oh, hey, dude. Raw waste is burnable. Scrap metal is not. Homunculi for recycling. Sort waste and offer to the gods. They're weird, but they're having fun. Clean very good, but Garbage King better. Garbage King, master of cleaning. I want to explain why it's called the Garbage King. Journal of a Tuner. It's been half a year since I left my companions in the tuner squad. Thought our job was to aid the homunculi, but reality proved very different. Only most gifted tuners are allowed opportunity to tune. The rest of us, with low resistance to blight and a lower aptitude for magic, are resigned to collecting parts and core from defunct mutants. This cog in the wheel of both House Milius and House Frost. Overwork till we burn out. Yeah, they're good games. I recommend playing them if you like Metroidvania. Waste level exceeded, unable to process. Poor dude. I don't have the resistance. Garbage King Master Cleaning. The thing is, that was either the thing that we bought up, that we beat up, that had the dude in the ball of trash, or it's the next area boss. Possible to tell. Alright, I see what the game is. Gotta open that lever to open the door to probably do the whole thing over again, where we have to do a really high charge in order to break a bigger barrier. I feel like they gave you the parry ring, but now in law is equivalent. Yeah, I have it. I just don't use it. Because I fucking hate parrying in games. I'm not good at it. I don't want to learn the timing, and I can't consistently do it. So I don't. It's not that I don't have it, it's that I have a personal vendetta against using it and prefer not to whenever I have the opportunity. Because my whole opinion of why I never try to parry in Souls games and prefer to dodge and heal, is that it's safer. Especially in Souls games. Like playing Dark Souls or Elden Rings, the timing window is both tighter, I feel, easier to mess up. Huh. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but that was effective. And overall, it makes... I totally hit the dodge button at that point. Yeah, I'm filthy casual and parry this meme. Man, I think they should do a new King's Field, because I think that was the game that was very much a prototype to the Souls, to like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. But it also had as part of your equipment guns, because it was like a modern dude falling in some ruins and had a firearm on him, and you could find other people and military dudes who also fell in there and grab the weapons they had. I really like the idea of Souls games, but you can also do parry this meme. Why do I have a feeling that we're unhermetically sealing something that should be gas sealed? But yeah, I've just started noticing, Gas, that the parry windows in this is a lot more generous than Lily's. But there's also the fact that I habitually am always... Same thing, I thought I could outdamage it. What, the one that was... The anime that was made by an ex-JSDF soldier, or a retired soldier, and has the entire section... has the entire concept of, yeah, no, if pretty much any sort of, if we tried the whole magic and fantasy beats out modern weaponry hands down with no counter route in has a lot of media presence, that would not go near the way that you would think. Yes, I have. I watched it up until the point where it just started getting weird, and it's incredible. Releasing something with a vacuum seal for... Yes, Lurk focused on working... Oh, yeah, definitely do that. Like, if you're actively running a campaign or need to work, then that takes priority. Enjoy the Lurk in the campaign. But yes, I find that one absolutely hilarious because it's just pretty much correct. Yeah, it's very cool. I love it. It's just that there's also a point where it starts doing kind of weird anime tropey bullshit that I'm like, huh, this was a lot more fun when they weren't doing all of this. And probably because the main character is over the course of that show quietly amassing a harem, and personally I think it'd be a lot better if it was just Stargate the anime, but that's because Stargate is probably one of the best shows ever made. And is just fun. But yeah, that has been something that the base concept has been stuck in my head for quite some time, and I find it really funny. It's more fun than when we blasted Catapult with a Tau missile. How do I get up there? Well, I guess we're going... No, wait, we can clear that. Yeah, and the funniest part about that is that the concept is essentially they're not even using modern weaponry. They're using Cold War overstock. Like, there's a point where they ask where they complain about their equipment. They're like, yeah, we're kind of worried about you guys going through and getting absolutely bodied, like, because Gate and Stargate have the same initial concept at its core, which is, what if there was a isekai portal fantasy for Gate, or a sci-fi show where we don't pretend that numerous sci-fi works and tropes don't exist in the universe? What if we let them actually use all the knowledge for that? Like, there is one episode of Stargate that's pretty early, and I'm pretty sure that it's also one that I've been told to just straight up skip because it's also really shitty. Like, it's just dumb and boring and isn't fun. But it has an alien sneak through the Stargate and do the body swap, the old body swap trope, and they clock what's going on immediately. Like, they say one sentence and they're both like, all right, we don't have to worry that we've been replaced. We've found who the alien's replacing, and they've said one word to us, and immediately go on the defensive. And it's the same kind of vibe of, let's assume that the people involved in this are aware of the tropes and know what the cliches are, and are put into situations where they have to deal with cliches. And just let them be smart and competent about it. I remember in Gate, there's a whole scene where a bunch of soldiers are contemplating, like, how to get into an area where we're explicitly told we're not welcome. Kill a dragon without starting a war. Well, we'd have to use a minimum of force, and then goes through this whole thing about getting a squad of jet fighters to force it to the ground, knock it out and daze it, get people to move up on it with C4 and mine it, and then blow it all to hell. And like, yeah, it's not exactly a minimum of force. No, but it would work. But yeah, the short answer to your initial question is yes, that anime has made me irrationally angry every time there's been anything in fantasy with guns and they're not useful. The idea of having technology so advanced, basically magic in the lore of Warhammer. I think Gate's neat. The idea that puts modern tech against fantasy is saying to say we're already at the point. Yeah. And again, it's not even modern. It's like, it came out, what? It's like, what, early mid 2000s anime, somewhere between like around 2010, give or take. And they're using 1960s overstock. Like, it's not, it's also made it so that whenever I write a setting that is doing that, I usually don't use modern tech versus oh, dang it. Let the shot. I usually don't use modern tech versus magic. I usually use World War I or Old West tech and aesthetics versus magic. 70s, 80s yeah, that's the better time frame. Thanks for that. But yeah, I usually use okay, I should really go through these one at a time and kill them, because like, on one hand, I don't think it's worth dealing with an individual one if I can run past it, but they have enough overlap where I'm not dealing with an individual. Like, yeah, like kind of stuff Russians would use it to invade Afghanistan. Although, more or less, it really depends on who's selling them, because there's the massive overstocks from that war, and definitely just because every armies has some World War II overstock that they were continuously using. Bit of that too for flavor. But yeah, like my normal go-to for when I do that trope is just taking that a step further of their complete of anything fantasy is completely overmatched by the technology of the 80s and 70s. So it's at least, we can at least pretend that they have a snowball's chance of hell if you use World War I era stuff. Like, give them slower bolt firing rifles, early semi-auto pistols, a whole lot of explosions, and that's at least, they at least have drawbacks that keep it competitive. It was a JDF's probably Western Europe or US. Kind of the unofficial NATO. It's been a while, but from the last clip I remember, I don't think I recognized the rifles they are using. So it could also be just a case of... Can't even be mad about that. I dodged too late. Yeah, it's much easier to dodge that at a distance. God, again, the one complaint I have about this game is that your passives don't show up immediately. That you have to remember to keep on hitting the B button every time you die. Maybe wrong, but didn't they point out at one point that Bear the Gay appeared in Japan? Because, yeah, they did. I do remember that about half of the drama and big problem was just simply like, hey, so we aren't just totally invading and taking over this area because we can. We're going under the start of... We're going to just do you the courtesy of extending the idea that you have rights and protection as any other nation. If it was pretty much anyone else, you would be... They wouldn't let you even entertain the idea of sitting down with them. Yeah, I think the main difference between Gate and Stargate is that Stargate, there's actual threats out there. Gate, there is not. About half of the threats come from the fact that they're being courteous and trying not to just wipe them out. But yeah, Gate is a very funny piece of propaganda. Because at the end of the day, that is practically speaking what it is. And Stargate is too. Like, they're both... I don't know if... hang on. I don't know if or what the setup is for media made by Japan or in Japan, but I do know that Stargate, part of the reason it doesn't run into the trope of humanity doesn't have an answer, and why they're allowed to win without using only alien tech is because Stargate's funded by the Air Force. Like the deal, I know I say this every time where Stargate gets brought up, is that the deal that the military and Hollywood has is that the military will give personnel, equipment, and skill. So for like Top Gun, all the flying in that was done by actual Air Force pilots with actual Air Force planes. But the trade-off is they get the final say on what's released, and you can't. Dang it. You can't make a film that disparages or shows the US military as weak or incompetent. Like it's in their clause that that if you're getting their support, they have to win, essentially. And I wouldn't be surprised by just the tone of Gate if that's being worked in under a similar deal. Of like sure, they don't have to give any equipment or material for something like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of the budget is filled out from the military, and if they have the final say on if it's published or not. Apparently, gun is Type 64 rifle made in Japan. Oh, that would explain why I don't recognize it, because that's not real. That's admittingly not one that you see a lot around, but the moment you said Type 64, I'm like, right, I did hear that. Man, I'm really glad Yulvin got an upgrade. He's kind of great against these spiders. Wait. All right, I'm getting that last. Why are they so accurate? Why are the gun spiders just always aiming exactly where I'm going to be? Yes, knew it. You cannot have a film that complimentary to any armed forces without it being funded by them. Because I just heard that it was like written by a former soldier, and everything else was just, I have a feeling. It's almost like anything nice said about armies and militaries is done entirely by their own dime. It's probably the other exit upwards. I think I know how to get into that last one. When I look at the rifle in the picture in the anime, man, like, mag's huge, it's gotta be 7. Yeah, it's probably 7.62. Yeah, that's the one thing I was going to say, that I didn't want to make a hazard a guess and be wrong, but I was going, especially because I'm like, no, there's no way that they're using a Galil, because that's the only other thing that I know to be actively chambered in 7.62. But it turns out, partially right. And part of the reason why it looks like that is because because there's only so many ways to make a rifle of that caliber without it looking similar. Here, go punch that guy. All right, that's another one. Well, I have an idea of what specifically we're going to be getting at the end of this. Something to help us swim through poisoned water. Aha! Knew there was a thing. House Milius earrings. Increased damage dealt by a oh! Earrings carrying the seal of House Milius. Alright. Innate craftsmanship beneath thick coat of rust suggests they were once worn by the house's lord. Oh, sweet. We found More of the weirdos junk. All right. I'm just going to take a minute to get up here and heal. Okay, 478. Okay, also fire 76. Really? I thought the 47 was 545. Nope. Nope. Oh, the fail makes sense. That one I'll believe. That one being such a marksman one. Although I also wouldn't be surprised if the answer is just they were chambered in multiple calibers. Nice. Watch it. You know, it'd also make a lot of sense if the upgrade for surviving the poison gunk was crafted. It's like, it's so nothing to be there. And actually, I did know about the G3 for the same reason I knew about the Galil. I found that gun in Stalker while I was playing it offline. I'm pretty sure I ended up disassembling it to get parts for the Galil because I'm like, I don't really know how well these stack up, and from what I don't know if it's going to be different if they're fully repaired, but what I see now, the G3 is not the way to go. Because what you get when you get a bunch of nerds who are not actually bound by copyright laws, because the Stalker franchise usually uses fake names for weapons to avoid having to pay for copyright. So like the PM handgun is called the PMM. There's a bunch of like I think they've slapped M at the end of a bunch of weapons. Oh, the funny one was the funniest one that I found was that the not the M16. Dang, I forgot what it was. And M60 rifle should not be available on automatic. Because fuck your shoulder. Oh yeah, the like the M16 or the AR-16, that's the 416 now. They just added random stuff wherever they could, and it works. Control panel. No reason for it. A third round. Look, I will say there is one reason for it in games, in that in Stalker that I know several things that you can pump more than 3 shots of 7.62 in and still not kill it. Actually, a big reason why last time I played Anomaly, I decided that was going to be my weapon of choice was because of an encounter. Oh, hey, King of Trash, Lord of Garbage. Garbage spider. Dang it. Stay away. Everything here belongs to me. Won't lose anymore. Not quite what I expected to find. Yep, King of the Garbage Heap. Long may reign. Oh. Now this is going to be a time learning parry windows. Oh no, Snorks are small. Snorks are annoying and can be dangerous, but they're human sized. Oh hey Ace, how's it going? Getting close to the end. We found the Lord of Garbage. Hope you're doing well, and hope you're having fun with Monster Hunter Worlds or Wilds. But no, Snorks are small. The The bigger issues are pseudo giants, which are the things that, dang it, right in the heal windows. The one and only one of those that I've found are enough that I completely ran out of ammo for whatever AK I was using. And also, one of the few things in the game that people generally agree on is the proper use and reason to carry around an RPG. A weapon otherwise said as completely useless because of its ammo scarcity and sheer weight means that you're only going to have like 2 or 3 shots, and besides that, it's pretty wasteful. But for a pseudo giant, they're like, yeah, no, that thing's the size of a large truck. Please do. Currently dealing with a storm that's knocking over trees, poles, and trucks, shaking my entire room. Most annoying things, a migraine react. That's a mood. Fortunately, it wasn't that heavy, but there was a pretty large storm going into my area. Not that bad. It sounds much worse. Oh, interesting. Also, this music is amazing. I'm on fire. It's time for trash and gun talk. Yeah. Wait, we've almost defeated the Lord of Garbage. We're going to take this thing's throne. The new all hail the new Trash King. How many of you are in there? First you go slow, then you go fast. Make up your mind. Make up your mind and stop being wherever I want to be. Fine, just went. Ooh, till tomorrow. That is rough. Don't die. I hope it's one of those systems that the weather channel the weather's a little bit wrong about, and it moves away faster than you think it will. Or at least the pressure will change enough so that the migraine reaction gets better. Wait, this thing doesn't have a stagger gauge. Of course it doesn't. It's being hung from the ceiling. Now, if doctor's appointment peak it. Oh! Yeah, you might die from that. Good luck. I hope that they're at least open to the idea of rescheduling if it's really bad. Should have PT tomorrow. Supposed to. Ooh. All right, y'all are either going to have to start being in better, and suddenly being in better health, or the storm's going to have to leave. Only 2 options because there's a lot going on at once. All right. Let's give alternate. Let's try lacerate. That might be better on. Brett, delete. Hey, on it. If I get the wrong weather and accidentally delete something like a U.S. state, I take no responsibility. Can't parry that. I have to learn that. I don't have any snoozes for the ads. Dang it. Well, Cloud's vulnerable to 762. I feel like it's a little bit of, if you've ever heard 9mm kills the body, 45 kills the soul. I'm pretty sure there's the list of things that that you can kill with 762. It's shorter to list the things you can't. Oh, thanks. I actually didn't see that I had any snoozes available. On my side, it said that is like just like, no, you have to go through these. Wild. Huh. Or maybe it's just showing post snoozing. I don't know. I think actually this is going to be where I'm ending it because for some reason my voice is really rough tonight. And at the very least, nope. Quick game. That doesn't mean that we get to raid some people who don't usually get to. Because, heh. Alright. Let me just type this in. Yeah, thanks for coming by and talking. I appreciate that. It's, I don't know, a weird day. I feel like a lot of people are just off playing Monster Hunter Wilds or doing or surviving inclement weather or otherwise busy. I don't know, it just feels like the past couple weeks have been off in general on the internet. But we're going to be rating Maya. She's playing Ludian Chronicles. It's like a Suikoden 2 remake, but indie. Tuesday is awful day. And she's also been playing Ender Magnolia. It's pretty cool. It's art. For me, it's just generally interesting. So yeah, goes that. Also, another Eldritch VTuber that by sheer chance has the exact opposite vibe and lore for me, so I find that funny. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, my brain's completely empty. Good luck out there. Don't die. This is an order and something that I have to remind people of. Bye.